but is keto something that you should do or can do forever? I get this question all the time. When I tell people I'm doing keto or I fluctuate from keto to paleo, like I get this question from everyone. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, but can you do it forever? Like that, is that sustainable? What's your take on that?
I would say no to a medical clinic, clinical ketogenic diet. I think, one of the, this book right here got me into it. Originally, it was written by there was a Dr. John Freeman, who is really the pioneer for the ketogenic diet, Johns Hopkins, and then Eric Kossoff and his research associate, Dr. Mackenzie Cervenka, are they've been speakers at the Metabolic Health Summit, which we kind of host and help co-host that. They are under the impression, it's written in that book, that the ketogenic diet has side effects and is not the ideal diet for most people unless you have epilepsy. So it should be thought of as a metabolic therapy used, but they're also talking about a very strict regimented ketogenic diet that's proportionally much higher in fat that really keeps ketone levels high, because that's when you get the most seizure control. So the issue I see is that it's not, a lot of people promote it as like the natural diet. This is how we ate, but this level of fat is not how we ate unless you were an Eskimo, right? So, and that's another topic you can delve into, but it's very unlikely that the macronutrient ratio of the ketogenic diet is natural or ideal for health. So my diet is higher in protein. Instead of 20%, it's more like 30, sometimes 40%. And then I have a pretty high amount of plants in my diet. So I have a high fiber plant-based ketogenic diet that's proportionally high in fish and a variety of protein sources, super high in eggs. So a diet that's like completely, I don't think the carnivore diet's optimal. You have these diet tribes that are kind of like, they're religious behind it. I try not to proselytize anyone if they're following a certain, Chilla, my wife, eats a lot of carbs, a lot of sugar, and does well with that. And our blood work kind of looks
And she
similar,
loves
right?
popcorn.
Yeah, she loves popcorn too. And I don't know. I'm not going to go into her dietary practice, but she does very, very well. She's very carb tolerant, and
Mm.
so a lot of people who are interested in the ketogenic diet are the very ones that really don't need it. Like a lot of athletes and fitness people, it is a great diet to establish a caloric deficit if you want to shred up and get cut and maintain that, because it has a satiating effect. And an additional benefit is something that we study is the anti-catabolic effects of ketones. So when your ketone levels are elevated, then the ketone bodies prevent your muscle from being broken down. So, and we know this, so branched chain amino acids are preserved. And actually, I just took blood from myself and got metabolomics. And what I saw post exogenous ketone supplementation is that alanine went down. So when your body is in a catabolic state, like if you're fasting, the alanine levels will rise, and that's indicative of gluconeogenesis. Well, it's indicative of your skeletal muscle breaking down protein. And if it gives up an amino acid, the one that it tends to give up more is alanine, because it's gluconeogenic. So your body is making glucose from this alanine. And ketogenic diets, and more recently, I did blood work on myself, showing a pretty sharp decrease in alanine. With it being in a fasted state, consuming exogenous ketone, I did it with ketone ester, and also did it with keto start, which is the ketone salt product. And both of it gave a pretty sharp decrease in alanine, which is kind of unique to ketones, because I don't see it with other dietary interventions. So the take-home message is that if you're looking to lose weight or maintain as lean as possible, a ketogenic diet could be optimal. If you have hunger issues and cravings that are hard to control, low carb, but it doesn't have to be completely ketogenic. Simply dropping your carbs,
Right.
to less than 100 grams a day and eliminating starches and sugars is, probably ideal for most people.
Gotcha. This is what I do. So I'll fast. I usually won't eat at least 3 hours prior to bed. I'll fast. It's 3:25 right now. We're in Florida, so we're on Eastern Standard Time. I still haven't ate since about 7 p.m. yesterday. So after we get off this, I'll probably go eat. And the first half of my day, because it requires deep work and a lot of cognitive function, I want to be fasted and be in a ketogenic state. And then as the day progresses on, then I'll implement heavy or even medium, but very, very low amount of carbohydrates, be more paleo warrior diet. So I'll
Mhm.
I'm not just ketogenic or paleo. I'm literally both. It's like a hybrid model. So the first half of the day is ketogenic for cognitive function. And then the second half, because I'll go to the gym, I'll implement some carbs. And I know I'm probably not in a state of ketosis. Technically, if you were to test my blood, I think it's okay to go back and forth every day instead of just being on ketogenic diet, all day long forever. So,
The pattern you just described is exactly what I do when I want to feel my best, right? Or want to
yeah.
be like super sharp. I mean, I admit I ate 2 meals today. I had some like keto waffles in the morning, and then I had some sardines and caviar right before this. But I'm
Mhm.
also teaching a night class, so I knew that's gonna. If I didn't eat earlier in the day, I'll be so tied up with work through the evening that I would eat too much at nighttime. So at
Yes.
9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, when I typically just kick back and read a book or watch Netflix or something like that, I'd be my energy sensors would be telling me to eat. And
Hmm.
so yeah, so on these kinds of days, I'll get more. And then tomorrow, for example, yeah, I'll probably fast throughout the day. And then I have some stuff in the afternoon, and then probably go out to dinner or something like that. So where I'll
Hmm.
eat my big meal. I pretty much always eat my big meal like late afternoon, early
Yep.
evening, and I
Same.
try to
Same.
time it. Yep, after a
Yeah.
workout or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy. Once I eat any type of carbohydrates that's over, let's say 10 grams, I instantly get tired. The
Yeah,
serotonin
that I had the
production.
same issue. Yeah, and that's why I really gravitated toward low carb and then ultimately ketogenic for work productivity and academic because I needed to focused all day. I was writing papers, I was teaching, I was
Hmm.
reviewing things. It just needed to be sharp all day, and it just gave me that sustained energy where I didn't have the fluctuations.